Have you ever wondered what goes behind the scenes of a YouTube video or want to turn your passion for video editing into a career? I'm a professional video editor, and I've gone from laughing at my favorite creators' videos to editing for some of the top creators on the platform. Creators such as Cypher PK, Checkpoint, Basically Homeless, and a whole bunch more. My name is Jiggy, and I'm going to share my story of how I went from my first client to some of my first failures. Everything I did from wanting a video editing career to having one. I'll also go over some things that I wish I knew earlier on in my editing career. Things such as finding your first client or how to shape your future for success. There are so many benefits to being a video editor. You can work from home. It's a creative job, so it's a whole lot of fun. You can make your own schedule, and you can start with very, very little. Now, I know starting something new can feel very unknown and risky, but I am here to answer all of the questions that you might have. If that sounds good to you, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn your dream for video editing into a reality. Let's get started. So the very first step of becoming a video editor is learning how to edit videos. I started in 9th grade. I was watching Steven Universe one night, and there was a clip that came on, and I wanted to add some funny memes onto it. The very next day, I went to my computer lab teacher, and he taught me everything that I needed to know to start video editing. Simple things such as cutting, adding zooms, and adding images and making them move. After I finished editing that video, I posted it on YouTube, and it got 100,000 views. And I can tell you that skyrocketed my interest for video editing. So for me, having the right teacher was the most important part when I first started off learning video editing. With every creative skill, learning never stops. And that's exactly why I still dive deeper into video editing to hone my skills. Recently, I come across this amazing editing course on Skillshare by Jordy Vanderput, the owner of the YouTube channel Cinecom.net. They post amazing video editing tutorials just like I do if you want to check them out. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. When you join, you have access to thousands of high-quality classes led by industry professionals. Industries such as film, video, design, illustration, freelance, and more. And if you're confused on where to start, Skillshare has this beautiful feature called Learning Paths, which are hand-picked class lists picked by the Skillshare staff that build on top of each other so you can reinforce what you're learning as we're learning it. Skillshare also believes in community. So just like how I had a teacher who taught me everything that I needed to know to start off video editing, Skillshare allows you to talk to your teachers when you're taking these courses and when you're learning, so they can relieve any questions that you may have. I've already mentioned Skillshare in my previous video before our partnership, so that's how you know I can vouch for them when I say that you'll be in good hands. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a month free of Skillshare. You can start learning about video editing from industry professionals for free today. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. So like how I said before, you could start with very little. In fact, when I first started off video editing, I didn't even have a computer. The only thing that I had was a $10 USB that I would go to the public library with so I can store my project files. I would edit all my videos in the computer lab, which brings us to our first question. What software do you choose when you're first starting off video editing? You don't want to be halfway through your career switching software because the software that you use doesn't have enough updates, enough support, enough community. If you have a computer and a budget to start video editing, I would recommend Adobe Premiere Pro. I started using Premiere Pro in 8th grade, and I'm still using Adobe Premiere Pro to this day. Here are some reasons why you should also use Adobe Premiere Pro. Number one, it's extremely flexible. All the companies that I've worked at use Premiere Pro, and even top studios who made the movie Deadpool are using Premiere Pro to edit their movies. It's also a great place to start because the company that owns Premiere Pro, Adobe, has other programs that also integrate into Premiere Pro seamlessly. So once you want to start upgrading your skills as a video editor, they make it as easy and as simple as possible. I have an entire other video that you can watch after this video about my editing software tier list. The second reason to use Premiere Pro is because it is the most popular editing software. This means that you have a lot of people making plugins and extensions for this application. You have a lot of people making tutorials, people like me, because of how popular Premiere Pro is. It's also been accepted as the industry standard. So most likely when you want to start doing full-time editing work, they'll most likely require you to use Adobe Premiere Pro. If you're a student from school, you can benefit from using their half-off monthly subscription. You can find a link for Adobe Premiere Pro in the description. So Premiere Pro is good if you have a budget to start off with. But what if you don't have a budget? What do you do then? There is a wonderful free option for video editors starting off called DaVinci Resolve. Some people actually prefer DaVinci Resolve over Premiere Pro, and these are industry professionals who are switching over. So definitely don't underestimate DaVinci Resolve just because it's free. And if you're looking for mobile video editors, the apps CapCut and InShot are a great way to start if you don't have access to a computer. So now you know you want to be a video editor, you know where to start learning editing, you know which software to choose. Now it's time to make the most important decision of your editing career. What is your goal? Now, defining your goal is crucial for shaping your path in video editing. Start by asking yourself, do I want to specialize in a specific place? Do you want to make a specific type of videos? Videos like a documentary? Do you want to make a vlog? Do you want to make gaming videos? Once you decide that, you need to start tailoring your learning and your projects to fit that goal. My goal was to edit Twitch stream highlights for streamers. Basically, what that means is that I would take a stream broadcast and edit it into a YouTube highlight video. So to fit that goal, before I even started editing for any other clients, I started downloading streamers' broadcasts and editing them myself and uploading them up to YouTube. Those videos did terrible. I had one video reach around 20K views, but the rest never exceeded about 50. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that. I was a terrible thumbnail artist, for instance, and the thumbnail is the most important part of the video. But it was a great start. I was learning how to finish videos. I was learning what makes a good stream highlight. Overall, it was just great practice. And it would lead me to apply for my first gig. I was watching stream highlights for a League of Legends content creator. League of Legends is a very popular online multiplayer game. And the content creator I was watching had over 700,000 subscribers already, which is huge for a first gig. They mentioned that they needed a video editor in the description, and I applied. I emailed them and anxiously waited for a response, which I got only an hour later, where they asked for a demo. I was thrilled, so thrilled that I finished a demo and sent it off that same day, 8 hours later. They messaged me back, and no later than 2 weeks later, I had my very first video up on a 700,000 subscriber channel. The video was well received, and I stayed at that gig for the next 3 years, just honing my editing skills and making millions of people laugh. The lesson here is that no matter how small you think you are or how small the opportunity is, you need to shoot your shot. I was a brand new editor with probably only 10 videos edited in my entire lifetime. But since I shot my shot, that led me to edit over 400 videos on that channel, and overall just opened the floodgates for all my other editing gigs. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a goal. If I wasn't already editing stream highlights, I would not have the experience to have finished that demo. When you're first starting out, your first client is the most important thing that you need to get. But getting a good client without having any experience is borderline impossible. So I'm going to tell you different ways you can get clients without having any experience. This is my favorite way, and I used it 90% of the times I was searching for new clients when I was starting off. Number one, my favorite way is to just offer them free value. I did this by offering a demo. You need to target specific clients that you really want to work for, because obviously you don't have the time to send in a demo to every single person that you apply for if you're applying to like 100 clients. Number two is the obvious way. Contact them directly. This works best with smaller channels that have like around less than 500,000 subscribers. Once a creator gets larger and larger and larger, they're going to be getting more and more emails, more and more offers that they're most likely not going to see your email, or they're not even going to be the one checking their emails. To find a creator's email, you can simply go to their about page on their YouTube channel, and they should have a contact field with their email. You can also find their Twitter, direct message them. And whenever you're talking to these creators, make sure to make your message brief. Don't go in there with the first message asking if you can ask a question. That's a quick way to get ignored. Just ask them the question directly. Number three is contact them indirectly. Like I said, these content creators, as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, they have less time. So most likely to have a channel manager or someone who is doing all the managing for them. You should go and find them on Twitter and contact them directly. Obviously, there are way more ways that you can get a creator's attention, but these are just some ways that you can get started. So you finally got a response from an interested client. Congratulations. Now, here comes the big question. They ask you, how much do you charge? This is an age-old question that a lot of editors struggle with because it's so nuanced in the editing world. My metric is this. First, find the amount of time that it takes you to create a video. This could be 4 to 8 hours. Take those hours and multiply it by your area's minimum wage. Then multiply that same number by 1.5. This should be the range that you ask for when you first start off video editing. A good practice when you switch clients is always to ask for more than your previous client, since you have more experience, you have more skin in the game. The same thing goes for if you're sticking with one client. If you notice your editing is getting better and better, you're delivering on your promises, don't be afraid to ask for the occasional payment increase as time goes on. Now you know how to learn video editing, you know how to start working for clients, you know how much to charge. What are some things that you shouldn't do when you're on this journey? Number one is burn yourself out. Burnout is a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion. Video editing is a creative skill, and creativity is a muscle, which means your creative muscle needs exercise, it needs discipline, and most of all, it needs rest. If you don't take breaks from video editing, you're gonna find yourself in a state of burnout at the most inconvenient time in your video editing career. This has happened to me before, and burnout will make you paralyzed from video editing, and it could possibly be permanent if you're not careful enough. Number two is avoid unreliable clients. There's a saying that work is 20% of what you do and 80% of who you do it with. When you choose your clients, here are some ways that you can make sure that they're good for your future. Avoid unsure clients who say, do what you want. This may sound good. It's like, oh, just do what you want. This sounds like hella fun. This usually means that the client has a lack of direction. They don't know what they want to do with their channel. They don't know what they want from their videos. It gives you unclear expectations of what you're supposed to accomplish. Also avoid clients with excessive revisions. Now, there isn't wrong with a few revisions. The problem starts when clients start disrespecting your time. If you find the client is trying to get more time out of you, making you do extra revisions without paying you for your time, this doesn't only undermine your value in your work, but it also enforces a clear lack of boundaries. And avoid clients with payment issues or clients who expect free work. Now, if you notice that the client is being a little shaky, they're really hesitant to talk to you about payment, you need to run like the wind. This is a deal breaker. This is your career, and last thing that you need is financial instability. If they're also delaying payment without any communication, then that's also a reason to run from that client as fast as you can. Another thing that other people don't talk about in your editing career is that you need to understand when it's time to move on. If you're feeling undervalued, overworked, or simply don't like the work that you do anymore, then it's gonna start showing in your work. That's the time that you need to relook at your goals, reevaluate, and find out what's important to you. If you have good clients, then you can talk to them about the feelings that you're having. See if any of the problems that you have can be solved through them. And if they can't, maybe it's time to start looking for different opportunities. Now, when you're editing for clients, make sure to save your best work. You need this so that you can present it in your portfolio when you apply to other clients. Your portfolio is everything because it showcases your skills, your talents, and everything that you've done in your video editing career. This will be the first thing that clients will ask for or look at when you're looking for a job, especially as you get higher up. So your portfolio is extremely important. And with that, you have everything you need to start becoming a video editor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.